We're looking at the new AR. It is the TR-76 Geist. So this is pre-nerf cast-off, by the way. They don't have the data for it yet. But the Geist is basically the fastest killing AR. If you like the TAC-56, there's no reason to use it anymore. This kills 100 milliseconds faster, kills faster than the M13. So again, this could end up being the absolute meta primary to run. For ad-free episodes, as well as early access and bonus episodes, check out our Patreon.
Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that, for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are absolutely live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number struggling right now. There's all kinds of activity going on in that fucking throat. And that's what I said to your mom last night. Zing, boom, got him. That's what she said. And I'll edit all of that out. Welcome to episode 362 of the Dropshot Call of Duty podcast. My name is Geist, also known as Razinon. Today, I'm joined by young Tanner. What is on your shirt, by the way? I don't know if I've been...
I don't know. Something.
I don't know if I've had the privilege of seeing this particular...
You've seen it. It's a goat, I think. What does the back of my shirt say? Angry Goats.
I do think I've seen
Angry
it,
Goats
and I think
Brewery.
I've asked about it before. Yeah,
and I think I had the same response because I always forget.
You probably did.
It was it was a coworker bought me the shirt from Costa Rica.
That shirt isn't too big, but it's dangerously close to being too big.
It's not too big at all.
It feels like it looks too big. It could be the angle or something.
It's not.
Though, but
yeah, it's actually a nice, pretty tight-fitting, good quality shirt. That's why I wear it a lot. I like it.
Interesting.
It's not too big, yeah.
Okay. Looks a little wide at the torso, at the bottom. But
it's probably a little stretched out because it's thin. It could be that. And I've had it for like at least 5 years, so probably.
And
it's no Dropshot quality, you know? It's no Dropshot quality. Nothing.
Yeah,
compares.
which we'll get into. Yeah, which we'll get into for sure. So anyways, welcome to the show. Today, we are talking about Season 6. SACE, as Valeria the robot might say. And all of the fun and exciting new things we've gotten on the back of Season 6. Which we will also get into. So, yeah, a couple things to talk about, actually. I mean... we, in our Patreon episode, which I'll get into in a second, we were kind of shitting all over Season 6. There actually is a little bit more that changed than meets the eye. I would venture to say the launch of Season 6 has been more impactful than the launch of Season 5. Now, let me be clear, that's not saying much, and it's not been a super impactful season. But more than I kind of expected from seeing the patch notes alone. So we're going to get into all the details today, talk about what appears to be meta and not, etc. Some of the new stuff to the degree that we've experienced it. But first we got a couple of announcements. So first and foremost, welcome to a couple new patrons, our new gold patrons, Garen K and Hunter C. Garen's a fake name, by the way. Get a real name. Thanks in advance. Especially spelled that way. With a Y.
That does not seem real.
That? Yeah, it's a fake
I've never
name.
heard that name at all, ever. Garen?
This guy really likes Elden Ring, and he just, like, legally changed his name to be something you would see in that name. Hate it. Garryn.
Yeah.
Nicole. So, yeah, it's
really
not good. It's not a good name.
What's his little image there?
It's probably Scottish. That looks like a Scottish
coat of
arms
that's something
type
it
of
looks
deal.
like a fucking dragon, doesn't it?
It is a dragon, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like a coat of arms or something. Okay. So change it, Garen, legally. And then make a new Patreon account and become a patron again at the Damascus tier, obviously. But Thank you very much, dude. And thank you as well, Hunter. More importantly, and a better person than both of you, Butt Muncher 91. Some old bitch in his 30s like us. Butt Muncher, welcome, our new platinum patron. And a better person than you, and more importantly, welcome to our new Damascus patron, Doja, aka Brandon. An absolute Chad. Gave me the new weapons in DMZ today. Took a grand total of 90 seconds, it felt like.
Yeah.
Super fucking free, low, and easy.
Yeah, and then I got them from you, so thanks. Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, so thanks, bitch. Much appreciated, Doja, aka Brandon.
I love DMZ.
And welcome to the Patreon, dude. New Damascus patron. We'll get more into the DMZ details. Not really. We'll talk about it. But yeah, thank you very much, Doja. Much appreciated. And thank you to all of our new patrons, patreon.com/thedropshot. Speaking of the Patreon, a Patreon episode just went live today, in fact, for all of our patrons. Every single one of them.
Oh, wow. And
it's all about Warzone 2, MW 2, mostly Warzone. We kind of were, as we talked about in the episode, we were kind of struggling a little bit for what to do for our topics for our last 2 bonus episodes for this month, since the game isn't updated or changed ever. And we didn't really want to talk too much about season 6 because we want to talk about that more on Saturday, with our first impressions episode, which we're still going to be doing. So in lieu of that, we decided to kind of just press the button and talk about Warzone 2 and what we're hoping will change and how impactful those changes will be when MW 3 comes out. So a lot of it is I titled it a struggle session, which it kind of was. A lot of it was just us basically complaining and wondering out aloud why is it like this? Why are you like this, Warzone 2? Why are you like this? But in the interest of having it be a more productive episode than that, we also talked about what we expect from the MW 3 integration and what the impact of that will be, because we're getting the movement changes to Warzone 2 with the MW 3 integration. So we're getting slide canceling, faster movement, etc., which is all fine and dandy and people are very excited about. But it begs the question, is that going to be enough to save Warzone?
Yeah.
And if it is not going to be enough, what else could we maybe expect from the MW 3 integration that has not been announced yet? For example, are we going to get the new perk system? We know we're getting the new guns, but what other changes will come to Warzone 2 as a result of that integration? Because maybe movement changes alone isn't enough to make Warzone 2 fun. That was I think, most productive part of that episode, and we spent quite a bit of time on that. But if you want, our thoughts and more details on that, and kind of part of the episode was tempering your guys' expectations, and letting you know our perspective on what we expect to change. That was the most productive part of the episode, and that is available now for all patrons. It went live this morning. What were your thoughts on that little app?
Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, it ended up being kind of wasn't sure how much there would really be to say, but yeah, once we got talking, there was actually a lot to talk about. Kind of just, yeah, I wouldn't say, I guess it was complaining, but it's kind of just more like confusion, disappointment at certain things throughout the game, throughout the year. That's been how is Ashika still so boring? How have they not made any changes to the map? Just a lot of things like that. A lot of wondering and discussing how nothing has happened to the game. And it's did they just spend all the time on the haunting event, a 2-week event? Have they been working on the next iteration of Warzone, and all the changes we've been wanting throughout the year are just going to come on the launch of that? Is it just going to be nothing? Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, we talked mostly about that. A lot of the stuff going on with ranked play, how they're not addressing certain issues, which we'll talk about today. But yeah, I thought that was a really good one, actually.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it tremendously, and it is available for all of our patrons. So if you want to listen, patreon.com/Dropshot, $5 a month, no problem. I mean, it's $5 for 30 days. The value is just ridiculous, and you get ad free, and you get early access, and you get special Patreon channels in Discord, and you get clout in Discord too. But clout, yeah, okay. You could even join the Patron Alley, which is a coveted channel in our Discord if you join at gold. But anyway, yeah, patreon.com/thedropshot. Speaking of the Patreon, once again, by the way, our last episode for this month, which is also going to be available to all patrons, is going to be about MW3 zombies. And I'm extremely excited to record this episode because I am very ready to start talking about MW3, speculating, and preparing, and obviously playing, but even doing episodes on MW3 gets me really excited, and it's really fun. And zombies is one thing I'm very excited about with MW3. In some sense, I'm more excited for zombies than I am for like multiplayer, because I know what multiplayer is gonna be like. Time to kill is gonna be fast. Movement's gonna be fast. I'm gonna shoot guns in full auto and get camos, and it's gonna be pretty fun. Yeah, that's multiplayer. I kind of already know what's going on. Zombies, I have no fucking clue what MW3 zombies is gonna look like. Like, we have the super roughest idea of what it's like, but since we last talked about MW3 zombies, there have been quite a few more leaks and speculation from like leakers and leaker adjacent people. So we want to talk about that. And that is going to be our next Patreon episode, which will be going live on the 30th. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can always sign up at any time, patreon.com/thedropshot, and you will get access to the back catalog of all the episodes we've ever released. And obviously you get them right away when we release them. But that's going to be our last Patreon episode for this month, and I'm very fucking excited. So if you're a zombies gamer, $5. It's going to be great. And we'll keep you abreast on all the little leaks you might have missed. Because Tanner is an alt-writer, so he's got his hands in all kinds of Telegram channels. So well, yeah, okay. Which Jaron made the perfect analogy for what Telegram is. It's the Discord of the dark web. That's such a good analogy for what Telegram is. That's exactly what Telegram is. Really. Yeah. It's a great fucking analogy. So fuck Jaron, but shout out to you, Jaron, for that. Yeah. And I'm going to edit out the part where I give you credit. That was my analogy. So yeah, that's going to be really fun. So that'll be our last Patreon episode. Tanner's not actually an alt-writer, by the way, in case anyone's mad. Last thing on the Patreon, for you Damascus patrons, the hangout once again is this Friday, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you join Discord, link your Discord and Patreon accounts, and then your name will turn purple in Discord, and you'll have access to every channel that we have, basically. And that including the Damascus Hangout channel. We all get in voice in Discord. You can connect to Discord through your consoles now, by the way, and your phone. So there's really no reason any of you that have a Damascus patronage can't afford the functionality to join Discord. You can, and it's easy. And there's a guide on how to link your Patreon and Discord accounts in the Discord. Go to new patron onboarding once you've joined it. Link those up. Your name will turn purple. You'll have access to the channel. We'll probably do some custom games, and we'll do a little, get to know everyone. Because I suspect there are going to be some new people there, and that's always fun and exciting. And as well as, of course, the usual cast and crew. So yeah, Damascus Hangout tomorrow. Gonna be fun. Be there. And then last announcement real quick. We are doing a fucking blowout merch sale until the end of time. Every item we have left, we're trying to just clear out our inventory, is at least 50% off. I think everything is technically more than 50% off, actually. Yeah. So if you wanted any of our merch, now's the time to get it. We basically just want to clear out our warehouse, which is Tanner's garage. So yeah, it's never going to get cheaper than this. And until we sell every single item, we're not doing another merch drop. So keep that in mind as well. And also, by the way, every piece of merch that's currently in the store, we're never restocking. When we sell more merch, it's not going to be restocked designs that we've sold before. They're going to be new designs. So it's essentially everything is also limited edition. We're doing a greater than 50% sale on limited edition merch items. Because once these shot glasses are sold, you can never get another Dropshot shot glass with the same design ever again. So go to the dropshot.com/store and buy something now.
Yeah, there are like a few shirts left, handful of hoodies and a couple different sizes, 2-3 sizes maybe. And then stickers. There's like 75 cents, usually $2. So, buy like 10 of them or so. But yeah, if you, we've already got a few orders in and we haven't even announced it on the pod yet. So we just announced it in Discord and on Patreon, I think. So, yeah, if you want to get those in, I'll probably ship them out like Sunday or something. I'll start doing it. So hopefully we'll have some more by then. Yeah.
So hit up our store, and do that now. And if the shirt is too big, get your scissors out. It's not hard, Make a cute little crop top out of it.
If the shirt's too small, get smaller.
And if the shirt is too small, stop fucking eating, you fat bitch. Yeah, that's what I would say to you.
Yeah.
So either way, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, you will. Fill my water.
Welcome to episode 362. All right, so today we actually do have patch notes and, well, excuse me, quote unquote patch notes. Infinity Ward patch notes. So they're not patch notes. It's a blog post titled Patch Notes on Season 6 to go over. So we're going to go over that. We also have some tweets to go over with respect to the game and changes that have been made that are not listed in the patch notes. And then we also have a fun and exciting hidden patch note I discovered today. So I have skimmed these patch notes. I haven't done a super deep dive yet, but I'm familiar with all the big things. But we're still going to hit on everything nonetheless. And I've actually been playing a fair amount. I played for a couple hours yesterday when the patch launched, and then I played for a couple hours today, actually, leveling up the new guns. Shout out to Doja. And then I gave them the Tanner as well. So I've played a decent amount too. So I'll have some perspective on some of this shit. But yeah, let's dive into the patch notes here. They start with words, big words. Keep in mind, by the way, all that haunting shit and Halloween shit that Tanner and I have been very excited about, that we've been talking about, that we talked about last week in the blog post. None of that shit's in the game yet. There are a couple kind of spooky operator skins, I guess, but besides that, all of the things Tanner and I want are coming in Season 6 Reloaded, not the launch of Season 6.
Yeah, I think it's the 17th all of that starts, I believe.
Yeah, so if you're wondering why we're not talking about the spooky LTMs or whatever, it's because they're not out yet. So anyway, here we go. Scrolling down, Battle Pass, lots of big words. A Black Cell bundle, and just a reminder, another heads up, if you purchase the Black Cell operator or Black Cell bundle for 30 United States dollars, you also owe the Dropshot LLC $30. And every week you don't pay us our VIG, you owe us an extra $5. So you have until next Thursday to give us $30. If you haven't, you now owe us $35.
Yeah.
Activision does not deserve money. Don't support their decisions when they don't fix their game.
Yeah.
So right now, you can't buy Black Cell. If the game was good, you could buy Black Cell and you wouldn't have to pay us a fee.
Yeah.
But the game is dog shit, so you have to pay us a fee if you buy Black Cell. You can go to the dropshot.com, click the donate button. If you've bought Black Cell, you owe us $30. Thanks in advance.
Yes, the skin we were talking about right up there in F11, the one everyone's rocking. That's why everyone has it, because it's like the first it's the first sector where after
next to
Black Cell. So that's why everyone has it. So all those people are Black Cell owners, of course. Yeah. This is I did not even buy the battle pass. I'm not even planning on buying it because I got the 2 new guns through DMZ. There's nothing I care about or want in it. I didn't finish the battle pass last season, so I said, fuck them. They don't deserve a goddamn penny from me. They don't deserve my CP, so I'm not going to give them my CP, you know?
Correct. Yeah.
Say.
Hang on to that.
Fuck you, Activision.
Yeah, fuck Activision, and just don't forget, if you've bought Black Cell, oops, you owe me $30. Yeah. So anyway, Black Cell, blah, blah, blah. New operators, super don't care. Yeah,
we can scroll down probably about halfway through this.
Yep, events, super not relevant yet. And new weapons. Okay, so now we're into new weapons. So, by the way, yesterday, me and Tanner and Jake were playing some Resurgence post Season 6. And we were kind of like bored. And we played for a couple hours and then we eventually got off. But we were all lamenting the fact that we can't even use the new weapons, so there's really nothing new going on for us. Yesterday, nothing was new for us when we played Warzone. But I had forgotten the tip that I gave everyone last season, which is the DMZ tip. If you know anyone or have friends who have unlocked any gun that you have not unlocked, go into DMZ with those friends, have them drop the guns on the ground for you, pick them up, go immediately to the closest exfil, get out of DMZ, and if you exfil holding any gun you've never unlocked before, you automatically unlock it. Mm-hmm. I completely forgot about this. So today, again, as I said, Doja, new Damascus patron and now friend of the pod, was like, oh, Raz, do you want the new guns? I have them both. I can drop them for you right now. So I was like, yeah, sure. So we got in Discord. I add him. And I'm not kidding. Between getting in a voice call with him and having both of the new guns unlocked, which would otherwise take me like 40 fucking tiers of the battle pass.
Hours and hours and hours and hours.
Or it would take me spending real life money that Activision doesn't deserve to buy tier skips. Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. Hours and hours and hours, or dollars and dollars and dollars. I was able to skip both of those things because I have friends. Now, many of you don't have friends. We'll get into that in a second. But if you do, then yeah, we joined. But from the Discord call starting to me having both the new guns unlocked was less than 10 minutes. It was probably closer to 5. You load in, you drop the guns. There's no like early leave penalty. You just immediately exfil and then I have them unlocked. Thanks. See ya. So shout out to Doja for giving me the idea again and for actually dropping them for me. Very good work there. And then I did it for Tanner like an hour later. Tanner was like, oh, you got the new guns? I was like, yeah. So I did the exact same thing. We loaded in. It took 2 seconds, and then we started playing La Casa 24/7.
Yeah, loaded into Vondel, ran 200 meters, I think, started the exfil.
200 meters, yeah.
Our teammate was furious. He was shooting us as we were exfilling because we ruined his whole DMZ day, I guess. I don't know. And I got out both new guns, yeah. Easy.
Super easy, yeah.
Love
so
DMZ.
Don't forget about that DMZ trick. If the only reason you're tempted to buy Black Cell or tier skips is because you're impatient and you want to unlock the new guns now, do the DMZ trick. Now, many of you, probably most of you listening, are thinking, but Raz, what if I have fucking no friends and no one wants to play with me and no one will drop new guns for me as a result of that because I am lonely and I'm kind of off-putting because I wasn't socialized properly as a child.
Yeah.
I know that's most of you. Well, good news for you. Most of the people who play DMZ are pay pigs, cash cows, and also completely dog shit at the game. So you can just solo queue DMZ, put on any gun, go immediately find a hunt other squad contract, go kill that squad, and you can do this by yourself if you're a 1 KD in Warzone, by the way.
It's pretty easy, yeah.
They're the worst players in the whole scene. Kill all of them, the assimilated only 4 people now, and run their pockets. Someone is going to be a Black Cell owner with both of the new guns. I almost guarantee it. First try, probably. And
Yeah.
then you can exfil with their guns. So you can just kill other people, take the guns off their corpses easily. But again, and let me stress this, easily, by the way.
Yeah.
And this will also be way faster than grinding out tiers. So in either case, DMZ is the fastest, easiest, and most ethical way to unlock the new weapons because it doesn't require you spending money on Activision. So that's what we did. So now let's get into the new weapons. The first one is TR-76 Geist. We've talked about this a little bit. A hard-hitting bullpup AR, chambered in 7.62, highly modular. It can be adapted to fit a wide range of tactics and combat scenarios. So, yeah, I have not used this gun in Warzone at all, but I've used it quite a bit in multiplayer. We will talk more about our first impressions of the guns and everything else on Saturday, but I will give a brief little first impression of the gun now. And again, we'll get more detail on Saturday. It feels really good.
Yeah.
It feels really good in multiplayer, and reports are coming in that it's quite good in Warzone as well. And we'll get more into some details on that later on today. But yeah, you've been using this as well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was using it in multiplayer too only. We were playing La Casa. Really fun. It felt too. Really good irons. It has that satisfying fire rate. It's got like that EM2 fire rate that I really like. So I think this may be the gun I've been looking for after they gutted my beloved
the Cronin 2.0.
This could be my new gun. Yeah, this like the first time I shot it right after Raz dropped it in DMZ, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna like this. I think I shot a couple bots that, by the way, we spawned in on Vondel. I'm staring at bots 10 meters in front of us, right where we
literally
it's just not a good game mode whatsoever. Yeah, so that was pretty fun. But yeah, it hits. Great. It's got a satisfying fire rate. I think mine's like level 14 or 15 now. Haven't thrown a single attachment on it because attachments don't matter in multiplayer. They only make your gun worse. Hey, do you want 2% better recoil control? Oh, I'd love that. Okay, you're going to move 40% slower. Modern Warfare 2, that's the way it works. So no attachments. I've been using it the whole time. Feels excellent. Really, really good. Excited to get into it in Warzone. I've got some charts and stuff too we'll get into after we finish the patch notes about this gun and also the new SMG. But I think I'm really going to like this one. I'm going to get this one with Orion, actually. I don't always do that with the DLC guns, but I can tell I already like this one. I'm going to get it Orion.
It's also nice because based on the stats that, again, we're going to get into later, it seems like it's not so strong in Warzone that it warrants a nerf.
No.
Which is important, because if it was too good, we would be like excited because it's like a fun new gun that actually feels unique and has some recoil. It doesn't really have recoil, actually. Yeah, no. It doesn't, yeah. But like we would be excited because at least it's a new gun that's meta or whatever, but it would be so overpowered that we know it's going to get nerfed. It doesn't seem to be in that spot. So it seems like this might actually stick as one of the meta guns. But again, we'll get more into that in a second.
Yeah, and people, by the way, were making videos saying like, "Oh, the Ram 7's in Warzone because like it looks like a Ram 7." Let's be super clear. There's just YouTube bait titles. Doesn't feel anything at all like a Ram 7. It's just a bullpup AR like the Ram 7 was. That's it. So if you haven't tried it yet, don't be expecting that at all. It feels more similar to like an EM2, honestly. It's got that fire rate. Reminds me of that. Sounds really good too, which I like.
Yeah. It feels, you know what it kind of feels like to me is a Rampart from BO4. Faster fire rate for sure.
Yeah.
But it feels pretty similar to that. It feels nothing like the Ram 7 though, no. Way slower fire rate than a Ram 7.
It's closer to like a Groza if you're going to go bullpup AR.
Yeah. Damn, that's a deep cut. I forgot about that gun.
The Tar from MW2.
Or the Tar. Yeah, that's a good.
Not even close to the Ram 7 though, so don't expect that.
Unfortunately, yeah. F's in the chat. Different caliber. So anyway, moving on. The next one is the ISO 9mm SMG. Sweep the battlefield clean.
Cringe.
With the high fire rate, maneuverability, and exceptional steadiness of this 9mm SMG. So I've used this a tiny bit, a lot less though, because I've been leveling the Geist. So I don't have as much to say on this. I will probably have more to say by Saturday for our first impressions, because I'll probably use it more by then. So with that said, the stats seem to indicate that it is a pretty solid SMG for like Warzone as well, and it could be in the mix for meta. Its default mag size is 33 rounds, by the way, so I do wonder what extendos can give you. I wonder if
I
this
think
can
it's a
get
little
up to
drum.
60.
I thought it was a little drum 50, but I'm not sure.
I would imagine 50. If it could go 60, that would make this really attractive to me. Because it's got a decent
If they're
fire
basing
rate.
it off something like real, it looks like it uses like Glock magazines or something, and there is like the 50 round Glock drum, so I feel like that's probably what it is.
I would imagine it's 50, unfortunately. But that's still enough, so yeah. You haven't really used this at all, have you?
Not at all, no.
Have
Only
you?
unlocked it. Again, the stats are good. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah. So, anyway.
It's only
moving
13
on.
levels, though, which is good.
Yeah, it's only 13 levels.
Chat
so it'll be
saying
super
50
easy to
drum.
get.
Okay, yeah.
50 drum. Okay, yeah. Okay, and then moving on, we have a new attachment. Some new attachments.
Yeah, we do have a new attachment. Yeah.
So I'm a little confused on this point, but I'm just going to say it. So new attachments, shotguns, Lockwood 300. The Maelstrom dual trigger is a new attachment for the Lockwood 300. A Cold Hammer Forge dual trigger that fires both rounds simultaneously with devastating results. So this is the double barrel shotgun. And there's a new attachment where you fire them both at the same time. And for those of you who can't do any math or use any reasoning, this is a one-shot kill, unsurprisingly, a lot of times. So this is one-shotting people in Warzone. Now, it's like one shot and then you have to reload. So is it good in like quads? Probably not. But it's still annoying and a one-shot kill.
Yeah.
Why on earth I'm not necessarily opposed to this. But it shouldn't. I don't know how I feel about it. I would need to think about it more and use it more, frankly. But the big question I have is, why are they adding this now? It's so random. Oh, it's for there's a new bundle that has it. That has a Lockwood 300, so they made it insanely OP. Thank you, Jake. Okay, that explains why they added it.
Wait, is there really a Lockwood bundle?
I'm sure there is. That would be the only reasonable explanation as to why they would randomly add an attachment for a gun no one uses otherwise. Yeah. That would make perfect sense. So I believe that. So anyway, that's in the game, and there's a lot of talk on the TL about it. This is already restricted in ranked play, by the way. So you can't use this in ranked Warzone.
Treyarch restricted it like 6 to 8 hours later. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was probably smart. I don't know. I'm not like, I don't know what my feeling. I don't really care. I'm done with this game. That's my feelings on it. But what are your thoughts? Do you see anything about this?
I see it's good and people are complaining about it. But yeah, it's like, realistically, I know it's annoying to die to for sure. But if you're playing like Resurgence quads, I'm never taking this over any meta SMG.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like, sure, like 3 guys are pushing you in a staircase. Okay, I can get 1 kill. And then as I'm reloading and running away, I'm just going to die. So it's like, I'd rather have one of 4 or 5 meta SMGs in that situation. But if you're playing like solos, duos, it would be pretty damn good. Yeah.
This would be gross in solos. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like maybe duos. Yeah. But that's like kind of it. So I don't like guns like this, though, that are like that are unbeatable, but also not good overall. Because then it's like, if it's not good overall, I don't want to run it. But if it's unbeatable in particular instances, then I just guaranteed lose to it when someone else is willing to run a bad gun overall to kill me with it. I don't like when they add things like that. So anyway, whatever. It's in the game now. I don't expect it to get nerfed, really, by the way. If they restricted it in ranked play, I doubt they're going to change it again. I don't think it's getting nerfed. Because if it doesn't one-shot kill, what would be the point of having it in the game?
Well, they could just like reduce the range at it one-shots at. Because I was going to go over that later, but JGod tested it. When you ADS, it one-shots at like 10.5 meters or something. So that's like further than all the first damage ranges on the meta SMGs, and it's one tapping from that range. So I can see them maybe like lowering that to actually like 2.5, 3 meters or something. Because that's what most of the SMGs, their first damage range, it's like 3 or 4. So
like
this is
4.5
10 basically.
with attachments. Yeah.
So I can see them leaving it just like cutting the damage range in half.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, I don't think it's a huge deal, but whatever. Anyway, moving on to weapon balancing. We'll talk more about this because their weapon balancing patch notes don't matter. For example, minor increase in close mid damage distance.
This is also damage for multiplayer, so we don't care.
Yeah, so I don't care. I'm actually not reading it.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Warzone
some other
stuff.
things. We'll talk about important things that have been data mined. Yeah, but like a lot of weapon balancing for multiplayer specifically. And then a couple things that apply to multi and Warzone, like the Lockwood MK2 improves sprint out time and hip movement speed. Okay. Whatever. And now some Warzone specific changes. Chimera, lower torso damage increased. Okay. Avancer limb multis increased. Hemlock nerfed. Cast-off 762 Giga nerfed. I don't know how good it is anymore, but I think we have some data on that.
We do not yet. M13, that data's not yet live.
Okay. M13 was nerfed. M13B was nerfed, excuse me. M13C was buffed. I'm not reading M16 changes. It doesn't matter. Cronin Squall was nerfed. FTAC Recon, I'm not reading. Lockman 762 was buffed.
This one, yeah, that one's pretty interesting.
Which is kind of interesting.
That one already had an insane time to kill. It's just lot of recoil. You can't hit anything at range.
Yeah. SO14 was buffed. Probably still irrelevant, but yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
TAC V was buffed.
Yeah, that could be an interesting
handguns. I don't think any of these matter really. Basilisk, if this applies to Snake Shot as well, was buffed a lot.
I would imagine.
So maybe that Snake Shot might be back in the mix.
I feel like you'd say Snake Shot, but you never know. They probably don't even know.
I think they just mean like with no attachments, like the base stats. So then it would apply to Snake Shot, but yeah. Anyway, whatever. FTAC Siege nerfed. GS Magna, which I think is the full auto Deagle, was nerfed. Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone use that in War. I forgot that existed.
Yeah, it's not.
Remember it was broken for like 1 or 2 days or something, and then they fixed it because it was doing like double damage or something weird. But since then, I've never heard of anyone using it, and they nerf it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're touching a lot of pistols. This is weird.
Yeah, a couple changes to semi-auto pistols, which doesn't matter. And then the 9mm Damon was nerfed as well, which is good in Warzone because it was really strong, I think. And that's that. So then shotguns. Bryson 800 buffed. Bryson 890 nerfed. Lockwood 300, the double barrel that got the new trigger, buffed as well. Yeah. MX Guardian, the full auto shotgun, was also buffed. So I'll say something quickly about that. I was using this yesterday on Resurgence. I didn't really get into many gunfights with it, honestly. People just don't play in stairwells as much as they used to on Vondel. Or I got unlucky. I don't know. But it still didn't feel like great. It's still a 15-round mag that you burn through really fast.
Yeah.
So if you're playing like quads, I'd still probably just rather be using a sub, to be honest. Especially like a hipfire build, and there are very good hipfire builds right now. I'd probably rather do that, to be honest. But it did get buffed, so I think I'll try it a little more. Get into some proper gunfights and see. But it's not nearly... I can guarantee you it's not nearly as good as the... Oh my god, what was the shotgun called? The semi-auto goated one.
Oh god, I can never remember the gun names.
I can't
the
either.
Drum mag, yeah, I don't know, but it's not as it won't be as good as that.
Whatever that gun is called.
What the fuck was that called?
The KV broadside.
Broadside, yeah, you're going broadside. Yep.
It's not as good as the broadside. It's definitely not. As the broadside once was, anyway. Snipers. I mean, this doesn't matter, right? They buffed the Karak 300, which is another semi-auto sniper. I would actually be curious to try this, actually. Because it's the only other semi-auto sniper. So it can 2-tap, you know. So that's something interesting. Yeah. I wonder if that's ever going to enter the fold. We don't have any data. This is why I'm not reading details. Is number one, it would take forever, but also close mid damage increased is all they say. They don't say by how much or what that even means.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be worth reading anyway. Signal was nerfed. Neck multi decreased and upper torso multi decreased. Those are big nerfs too, but you still can technically 2-tap. You just really got to be hitting headshots now.
Yep.
Although I suspect one neck and then one headshot would down someone fully plated in Warzone. Still. If that's not true, then the signal is pretty much chalked in Warzone. But I don't know. So
I haven't been watching Warzone streams lately. Have you seen people running it in ranked?
I have not seen a signal in Warzone yet. No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But I haven't been watching too much, so I wouldn't know. And then the SPX was changed. It doesn't matter. SMGs. Boss P was buffed. Fennec was mostly buffed. It was changed. It was buffed overall, but it did have a couple little nerfs. Lockman Shroud. Holy shit, was buffed. Even though it was like the fastest killing gun before these buffs. That's gross. Mini Bach was buffed a little tiny bit. MX9 was buffed as well. And then there are a couple of bug fixes, supposedly. Fixed an issue with some KV broadside and Guardian barrel attachments where they were not offering the correct stat. That's interesting. I wonder what that means. I wonder if that means they fixed their functionality or what they
like it was maybe saying it was giving like damage range, but it wasn't or something.
And it actually wasn't. Yeah, exactly.
No, we didn't listen to what you say in game anyways. We use sim.gg devs, so even if it was incorrect, doesn't matter to us. We can't trust you. We use data mine information.
Yeah, and even if we could trust you, you didn't tell us what changed. Neck damage multiplier increased from what to what?
By the way,
we'll never know unless we use sim.
Yeah. On the MX9, something else this year we've kept expecting. Season 6, still haven't gotten it, so we're not getting it. Mag size changes to certain guns, like we saw in Caldera. MX9, they've tried to buff it actually 5 times. Nothing matters when it has a 32-round mag. No one is using that outside of solos or duos even, really. Yeah. People try to make it work. It's fun. It's good. But 32 rounds, like, make it 40. Make it 45, something. We've seen, again... What have they been doing this year? Working on the haunting for the last 6 months? I don't know. But yeah, so that again doesn't matter.
It do be seeming that way.
Unless the MX9 kills in 3 less bullets to the chest now, that doesn't matter that they buffed it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And that's the case with a lot of these changes. It's like, okay, cool, you changed the SPX 80. Like, no one's using that in Warzone anyway. So like, why are we even, I don't know. But anyway, whatever. Okay, next section here is progression. So there's more prestige shit, blah, blah, blah. Global bug fixes. Okay, it's a big list. Big list. All right, I'm going to go to the middle of it, and then I'm going to randomly move my mouse around, close my eyes, and here we go. Open. Okay. Fixed an issue where camera position was inconsistent when viewing weapons and blueprints in the battle pass. Woo! Fuck. Woo! That's the type of bug fix we need. Now, as a reminder, this is why we don't read bug fixes to you guys, because none of them matter. They don't fix any bugs that are relevant. Hey, there's another bug where if you alt F4 in ranked play, you don't lose any SR, even if you're at like negative 200.
Well, that's been an issue for like 2 months. Wasn't that fixed in this update?
You would think that, right? Especially when they have a list of 30 bug fixes here. Guess what's not on that list? That bug, which is an important bug, for example. So think of any important bug, any of you listening are aware is a bug. That bug, whatever it is, pick a bug, any bug. If you're aware of it, as someone who actually plays the game, it has not been fixed.
It has not been fixed. That's the best way to put it.
That's all I know.
If there's a bug you've experienced in-game in Warzone, it was not fixed in this update. It has not been fixed in 2 seasons at least, yeah.
They only fix bugs that don't matter or are in DMZ, which is to say don't matter, and are just very easy for them to do, so they can continue embezzling, right? Activision for money by saying, oh, look at all these bug fixes we did. Yeah, they're bug fixes, I guess, but none of them matter. Not all bug fixes are the same, but to the corporation, they are all the same. Oh, Tim the dev, quote unquote, fixed 40 bugs. Let's give him a bonus. Yeah, he fixed the easiest bugs that take 2 seconds to do and don't impact the game at all. Yeah. So yeah, we're not reading you these bug fixes, well, at least, and I'm not reading them myself. They don't matter.
Yeah, they didn't fix the Alt F4 one, but they did fix the bug where you get insta-thirsted when you die when you have a self-revive pistol, right? That's been a bug since like season 2. They fixed that, right?
So surely they fixed at least that, right?
Yeah. I just scrolled through this whole list just to make sure we weren't missing anything, and yeah, we really are not. There's nothing I've even heard of on here. It's a lot of like UI bugs, battle pass bugs, incorrect appearance of the 9mm daemon when previewing the weapon. Yeah,
I swear to God, it's just have a quota.
It's never a bug you've ever heard of.
They have a quota for how many bugs they need to fix each week, and they have to do something with their time. So they just do the easiest things possible to warrant them getting a paycheck. Like, that's actually what's going on. They don't care about the quality of the game. They're doing the bare minimum, and they're finding the easiest busy work dog shit to do to continue to justify getting paid. That's all that's going on. So that's why the bug fixes never matter. So just so you guys know. Spec Ops, I'm not reading. Multiplayer, new maps. Okay. La Casa 6v6. They write words about it. This is like, I think, the best new map they've added to MW 2. It's really fun. It's pretty. It's very well laid out. It's correctly spaced. The one complaint I have is that if you're playing hardpoint, one of the hard points is literally the pool, and it is exactly and only the pool. If you're not in the water, you are not capturing the hard point. It's not a rectangle around the pool. It is the shape of the exact pool. That's the hard point. That's my only complaint about, which is obviously annoying. That's my only complaint about this map, though. Besides that, it's a fantastic, fun, and exciting map. And we'll talk maybe a little bit more about it on Saturday, but it's a really great, fun map.
This map is
and the visibility's good, too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This map is a great example of why we just need sunny, bright maps and nothing floating in the air. There's nothing in the air, the sun's out. As soon as we spawned into it, after Raz gave me the new guns, I immediately said, holy shit, this map looks gorgeous. Right when I spawned in, I said, oh, this is dope. The colors are nice, the sky's bright, looks cool. Great setting for a map, really good map, well laid out. Yeah, it sucks we always get these at the end of the life cycle, though. I mean, that's the unfortunate thing. But that's what you get with drip-fed content like COD does. So, unfortunate that we didn't get to play it longer. Would have loved to have this map on launch. Boy, golly, that would have been great to have in the rotation.
With this, I know.
Yeah, would have really loved it.
Instead of Santa
there
Senia
would be some banger
crossing.
little long shot locations on this map for like SMGs from like window to window.
Sure.
It would be all long shot range probably. Yeah, it would have been really solid to have this earlier on in the game. So really good map.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really like it.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little more about that on Saturday. But great new addition, and it's a shame, like Tanner said, that it doesn't matter because I'm done with MW2. I hate this game, and I hate Infinity Ward. Next, Coro Village, another new Sixes map. This is a remake of a Call of Duty 2 map, just 2, before we got 8 fucking Roman numerals for game titles. The second Call of Duty ever made, this is a remake of a map from there. This one is called Coro Village. It's a remake of Two Jane. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but I fucking hate this map. I don't think it's good at all. I don't think it's fun or interesting. It's ugly. The visibility's fine, but it's ugly and the layout's fucking weird and it's not fun or exciting. The size is fine too, I guess. But besides that, I fucking hate it. I don't think it's a good map at all.
I was going to say the visibility is
an
not
average
good.
map.
I think that's the worst thing about it. Players
Interesting.
Seem to kind of blend in with the walls a lot because there are a bunch of different wall heights on the map, and also like the roads are kind of angled. There's little half walls, and then the roofs you get on have multiple layers to them often. Kind of hard to see people. There were a lot of people on head glitches. There's
a lot of nasty
snow
head
falling
glitches too. Good point.
Yeah, there's snow falling, which isn't great. The shadowy areas are a little too dark. They're also, I'm like 99% sure some of the areas are changed. Like when we were playing Hardpoint and there were hardpoints in those little shacks, I don't think those buildings were ever open before. Those were all just like, you couldn't go in those at all. So there are also things that were different. Oh, the building at mid that you see smoking here with flames coming off the top, you did not used to be able to go through that, if I'm not mistaken. You can get inside from the front, but there was no door to go through the back. I'm almost positive. So that's changed too. That kind of changes the flow of it. Because they have to change them also for like Hardpoint and stuff like that. Because Hardpoint was not a thing back then. And so they kind of, I think, changed the flow of the map. And just so it's not a straight up remake. But other than that, it's the same exact layout and everything. You have built, or the vehicles are in the same spots even. I was telling Raz, it was just like, it was more fun back then too, because again, it was a basic map in 2005 where there's no clutter. It's easy to see people across the map. There's no bullshit. There's no floating snow. And like there are two long lanes and then kind of a side lane. And it played really well in that game when you're using Car 98 bolt action iron sight rifles and you have these long sight lines and you jump around a corner real quick, take a shot. It just doesn't flow well in this game at all though, with automatic guns. Hardpoint, it just doesn't mesh well at all. It's
dead silence.
It's a fine map, but La Casa is actually like a proper good 6s map for this game.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah, it probably could have been fun in COD 2, but it's just such a different game.
That was
now.
the fan favorite map in COD 2. That was like the most popular map. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see that. It's just so much is different now. So anyway. Moving on, we got the new gunfight map, King. I'll never play it.
It doesn't matter.
Fight, I'll never play it.
Great map, King. Yeah. Remake, MW19. Probably our favorite gunfight map. I miss MW19 gunfight. Damn, that was fun. Remember how much fun we had on that on launch? When we would always play that together.
In our little tournament where Jake was like embarrassing Bjorn. Yeah, that was a good time.
Jake was on controller at that point. It didn't count.
That's of course true. Yeah.
Oh,
bug fixes. More bug fixes that probably don't matter. And then MW2 ranked play. This also doesn't really matter.
Wait. There's a bug fix. So they say fixed an issue where the UAV kill streak pings enemy location in between scans on some multiplayer maps. Oh, so it was pinging them between scans? Okay, so what did Ace say about this? Let me see. Ace said, it appears the UAV bug has been fixed on some, but not all of the maps with today's update. I gave up hope on this a while ago. I was pleasantly surprised to see it in the patch notes. So yeah, I guess he's basically saying it's still not completely fixed. So that's cool. They got on the internet.
We also, by the way, when Tanner and I were playing 6s today, we would pop a UAV, die to some guy who was not on UAV, and he would not have
numerous times. He would have high alert going off in the kill cam. Yes. Because I was like, maybe the UI is just bugged. Then I saw after he killed me, he got high alert behind him. So there's still a UAV bug in the game. I mean, I'm confident by saying that. It was the same guy. It happened in one match of La Casa like 3 times to me. So it's not just by chance he like was just spawning and not on the sweep or something. No, it's absolutely a bug involved with the UAVs.
Yep, which we've seen in Warzone as well, and like
we've seen it in Resurgence. I don't know if it's still bugged in Resurgence, but it was for a long ass time. And even if they ever fixed it, I don't know if they ever said they did. It was probably never in their list of patch notes. It probably just eventually got fixed quietly.
Yeah. Who knows? But the game just doesn't work, and they don't patch it. And any bug that matters, they don't fix. So don't ever expect UAVs to work as intended. By the way, like the stream now. Plus, we're definitely going to be playing King at the Damascus Hangout. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And we're going to be playing it with entirely too many people. It's like 8v8 King. Although, you know what? That map is so long.
King's big enough, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That actually might be like pretty fun and competitive. I'm excited. So we will be doing that at the Damascus Hangout for Damascus patrons only, patreon.com/Dropshot. Like the stream.
Also, I've seen we've gotten 2 orders since we announced it, so the stuff's probably running out, guys. So thanks whoever placed an order just now during the pod. Yeah, there's probably only like a few t-shirts left then. So, thanks, boys. We will properly thank you at some point. I don't know who did it, but anyways.
We might.
Yeah, we won't actually. Never mind. I don't know why I said that.
I don't.
So thanks if you placed.
You guys should have bought it when it wasn't on sale. So fuck you.
Yeah,
it's your duty to buy
ago.
it. So yeah.
Yeah, fuck you.
Anyway, MW2 ranked play. I'm not reading any of this.
Yeah,
it's the same shit.
No.
Doesn't matter. If you're into that, you've read the patch notes already. Okay, now Warzone is the next little section here. So this week the playlist updates. I don't care, but I think Fortress is just gone, by the way.
Fortress could be gone forever.
Yeah, we were talking about this on our last Patreon episode that went live today for all patrons. Patreon.com/Dropshot. As little as $5 a month, you get access to the entire back catalog, early access, and ad-free episodes, by the way. And we were playing rotation, and there was no Fortress in the rotation. Which, as some of you may remember, recently we got the new Resurgence map, Al-Bagra Fortress, for like a week. And then it wasn't a dedicated playlist anymore, and it's just not in rotations. And now still we have rotation Resurgence, and it's not in the rotation, but we don't have a dedicated Fortress Resurgence playlist. So you just can't play Al-Bagra Fortress Resurgence right now, which is good, by the way. But it's a little curious they just didn't say anything about it. They just like swept it under the rug. Now, let me be clear. They're not like obligated to say anything about it, because what probably happened is there were actually 20 people on the planet Earth who were queuing for Fortress. So they just said, okay, well, no one's playing it anyway. We might as well just take it out of the game. And then they did. So do they like need to announce that? No. But
No.
they probably should. It would be better if they said, hey, by the way, due to 0 player count and long queue times because no one else is queuing but the mentally handicapped, we're just going to remove Fortress. We're giving up on it. And yeah, if you're mentally handicapped, I mean, it's not your fault. And many of you are mentally handicapped. That's why you're listening to this podcast. Yeah, they just didn't say anything. But either way, it's not in rotation right now. So don't be afraid of map rotation for Resurgence. You will not have to dodge Fortress, which is a good thing again. So kudos to them.
Also, BR Solos is rotation. So that rotates between Maz and Vondel, I guess. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Saw some people saying they like that.
That is actually quite interesting.
And again, the good thing, if you don't like it, it's every 15 minutes. Go take a shit out of your ass, go get a snack, and it'll be the map you want again. So it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, because 15-minute rotation, you're never actually waiting 15 minutes.
Not
because
usually,
if you are, then you're just queuing before it switches.
Yeah.
So usually you're waiting like... Whenever we wait for a rotation, it's like sub 2 minutes, it feels like, almost always. So it's very easy to
The only
dodge.
thing that was unfortunate yesterday is I queued for trios when it was Vondel, and there was 45 seconds left. But the timer starts, or it like resets once you found the match and start loading in. So I was queuing for Vondel, but then the timer runs out because we didn't find a match within 45 seconds, and then we got put on Ashika. It'd be kind of nice to like if you click the search button and it says that map, I feel like you should play that map. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. But I wasn't sure that's how it worked.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now we know. That's just good comms. So anyway.
No, Jakin, it's not a good POI. I would never enjoy a Resurgence Fortress. It's just not. It's a horrible POI in general. It doesn't matter.
We did a whole episode on this.
Yeah.
And I think you listened to it, buddy. We said even if they fixed it completely, it still wouldn't be good.
It's a shit POI.
Gameplay is the next little section here. So there's a new Mazra Champions Quest reward, which is the new contract. Signals intelligence contract has been re-enabled.
Oh, fun.
So okay.
Was that one we didn't even understood what it did, right? Well,
I don't know what it is.
You pick it up and it marks a bunch of other contracts or something. There's that one, and you get money as time goes on. Yeah, I don't just remove it.
Yeah, whatever. Supply box loot behavior, quality of life. We've improved the behavior and visibility of additional loot that drops on the ground out of supply boxes. So, yeah, we read this patch note for our Patreon episode. Tanner had found this, and I'm not sure what this means or if something actually changed. I mean, it's good, I guess, if true. I don't know, though. There are way bigger problems with loot behavior in Warzone, I guess is what I would say. But this is something, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, make it, it's a lot more important to have player loot properly visible and not stacking on top of each other. I didn't notice it either. Next time I play Warzone, I'll look out for it and see if it's actually improved. But there really weren't. I guess there was issues actually, because if you got the PRD, the drone, that blocked everything else because it just dropped right out in the middle.
Yeah, it do be blocking. So
if it's better, great. But I mean, they fixed the smallest part of the loot issue. The biggest issue is player loot all being on top of each other when they die. Yeah, the vomit loot's miserable because they've never done basic quality of life changes to make it even decent. Yeah,
exactly.
Because they don't develop the game.
Yeah, they embezzle. That's what they do. That's correct. Anyway, buy station limited row. Okay, so you can't buy a PRD at a buy station anymore.
No, I always bought those.
You can now instead buy a medic plate carrier for 4,000. And this is limited stock at each buy station, I guess.
That's awesome.
And then the reinforcement flare price is now $7,000 instead of $5,000.
Oh, and they decreased the spawn rate by 90%. Oh, wait. No, they didn't.
Oh, no, they didn't. No, there's still 1 million, yeah.
So this didn't change
including
anything.
In ranked,
yeah.
by
We
the
also
way.
talked about this in the Patreon episode. This changes nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're going to a buy to buy a reinforcement flare, there's only one at a buy max. If you have 5,000, you have 7,000 to buy one. And you're usually just finding them. You're killing people who had found them, and then you have 10 of them. So this solves nothing. Yeah, it solves nothing.
Yeah, correct. And then a couple of bug fixes.
Ooh.
I just read all 4 of them. None of them matter. For example, fixed an issue related to a simulation request not behaving properly that were accepted after the player initiating the request was eliminated. How fucking specific is that? Relating to Warzone. But they don't fix the Alt F4 bug. They don't fix the loadout icon on my map. That's not real bug. They don't fix anything that matters. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Whatever.
Fix an audio issue with supply boxes. What the hell could that be?
I don't even know what that means. Yeah, I read it and I don't know. Okay. So anyway. Yeah. By the way, 4 bug fixes total. Not that if there were 30, any of them would matter because they wouldn't. But this just goes to show you. I mean, they're making so much money with Black Cell that they don't care to make meaningful bug fixes because the quality of the game has no bearing on how much money they're earning because all of you fucking idiots are buying Black Cell. And people who don't listen, especially to this program, are buying Black Cell. So they're making so much goddamn money, there's no incentive for them to do meaningful, impactful bug fixes.
Yeah.
Or game changes. Because they're making a bunch of money anyway. So they're not going to get fired for doing the easiest bug fixes and then clocking out. So yeah, this isn't changing anytime soon. And the next game, if it's good, it'll be good coincidentally. It won't be good because their bottom line relies on the game being good, because it obviously doesn't.
Yeah.
Sick consumers, by the way. Sick consumers, yeah. The worst population of video game players on Earth is Call of Duty players because they reward this behavior. So shame on you if you're spending money on Activision. Actually, you don't have the right to complain about how bad the game is if you're spending money on it.
Yep.
It's that simple. Stop doing it. And if you do, a reminder, you owe us an equal amount. So anyway, Warzone ranked play is the next little thing here. I'm not reading any of this. I don't care. I am reading some of it actually. Okay. So let's see. Okay, max player count has gone from, what was it before? 150? 148?
152 or something, I think.
It is now 102.
150, I don't know.
150 to 102.
Yeah.
That's a pretty substantial difference, by the way.
Big difference, yeah.
That is a more than 30% difference.
That's
So
what my
1/3
calculations got me yesterday. Yeah, more than 30%.
Yeah, roughly 1/3 of the people who would be in a ranked game are now not in the game.
They're just gone.
See ya. By the way, a lot of your SR is predicated on kills, so that's kind of an issue.
Yeah.
Circle timing and size. Warzone ranked play has inherited the Season 5 changes to the circle timing and size. Did they... So they link it, they link something, and then they go into details on circle timing and size. So don't link it if you're just going to tell me it anyway, because now I'm confused. Are there additional things you've changed? I hate
so.
Infinity Wars so much. They make me so upset.
Do they?
Anyway, the delay time before the first movement of the gas is 90 seconds instead of 220. So the first circle starts moving much more quickly now. The close time of how long the gas takes to collapse to the next size is now 215 instead of 270 seconds. So it starts closing sooner, and the rate at which it closes is faster now in ranked play, in addition to having 30% fewer players. Circle size is also smaller. Decrease the size of the initial circle. I guess we can stop there and talk about this for a second. This is fucking insane. Going from 150 players, or about that, 148, 152, some shit like that. I think it was actually exactly 50 teams. I'm almost positive, actually.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Going from that to 102 in one fell swoop is pretty fucking crazy. Especially when so much of your SR is predicated on getting kills. There are so fewer people to kill now. That like dramatically, but on the other hand, I guess, it's also a lot easier to get more placement points because there's way less competition. So I will say, if you're going to reduce the player count, you need to also make the first circle smaller and make the circles move faster so that the games aren't incredibly boring. So at least they did do that in conjunction. But how does it actually play? I don't know. But I'm not seeing... I'm seeing a lot of people like pretty fucking confused on Twitter about this change. And like Tanner said on Patreon, why couldn't we have gone from 150 to like 128 and like see how that plays first and then gradually go down to 100 if that's what you wanted to do? Very fucking weird.
It was just a big drastic change to make specifically for ranked play when they didn't change the SR system. In fact, they made it a lot harder to gain SR. So yeah, it's just like, I know this is how pubs is, and the thing that's for sure positive that we talked about when they changed this in Season 5 for pubs is we said, you know, this will be better for getting more accurate lobbies. That's the best part of it, is if you're Silver 2, you probably won't ever go up against, I don't know, Crimson players or something anymore. You shouldn't. If 33% less players are in the lobby, your matches should be more in line with your skill level.
That's a great
which is
point.
A positive thing. But, you know, I'm done with ranked. I don't care. This game's just boring, but I know everyone was complaining about this when they made the change, all of the ranked players. I'm not sure what they've been saying now after playing it for a day. I did see some things saying end game is just dead now, which is unfortunate because that was the best part of ranked play, is going into like the 6th circle with 30 players left still.
True.
So I don't know. I mean, we said this back when they made this change. I said, oh, this will come to rank. It's just they're not doing it right now. This will come to rank soon. So this is the exact same thing. Same circle timing, same amount of players, smaller first circle. Yeah, I just don't know how to work for rank because you like can't land out of the zone now. That's what we said back then too. Gas starts moving in 90 seconds now instead of 220. It's a big difference. And that's what we would do sometimes, is land at oil, out of the zone. Like, you know what, let's just get an easy landing, get our load out. Yeah, there's a chopper there, let's get into zone. You don't have time to do any of that. So it's a lot of, it's probably more fighting with ground loot, unfortunately, which is never fun. And then, yeah, I think just lobbies dying off quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too surprising that they did this, actually, because this does mirror what they did for pubs last season. So I guess that's why it's such a dramatic shift in player count.
Yeah.
And there are, I guess, some positives, like Tanner said. Potentially, the matchmaking would be more strict now, so you wouldn't have to fight fucking Symphony when you're a bronze shitter.
Yeah.
But,
faster queue times, too.
First of all, who knows if that's actually going to be the case?
Yeah.
I don't. And yeah, I don't know. I don't play enough like ranked for this to really, to have like a real strong opinion on this. But again, if they're going to lower player count, all the changes they made to the circles needed to happen as well. So it's good that they did that. But anyway, on to some unambiguously bad changes.
Oh, wait, one other change with ranked here. They removed the spectator icon, so you can no longer see how many people are spectating you. I know some people were mad about that.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But so that's no longer the case.
Yeah, they don't say.
Yeah.
How weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their reasoning would be.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? Anyway, whatever. Gulag entry kits are now also in ranked play.
Yeah.
And evidently they drop fairly commonly. So this is the Ted Timmons effect, which we talked about months ago. Now in ranked play as well, you can pick up an item where if you've been to the Gulag and you're out of Gulag entries, you can now enter it again.
Yep.
Just making it more clown fiesta, less punishing, easier to play the game. Now, again, if you're going to have 30% fewer players, this might not be the worst thing because you do want to keep the lobby a little more alive, maybe.
Yeah.
But when we have as many fucking flares in ranked play as we do right now, which has not changed at all, by the way, besides the price increase, which doesn't matter. Because if you have 5K, you also have 7K. You always have way more money than you need in ranked play.
Yep.
By the way. So like that doesn't really impact it. And there's still a fuck ton of flares. So did we need Gulag entry kits? No, probably not. But like this problem pales in comparison to the reinforcement flare problem, I think. But anyway, they've added them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they've now said they've restricted the RPG and the Strela also. Weren't those already restricted?
They were already restricted, yeah.
So they pretend like they are doing their job by adding it here.
I mean, with 102 players, they kind of need Gulag entry kits because the lobbies are just dead without it. Well, they actually don't because of the flares. Yeah, it's just in their mind, the reason they're adding it is so more players can come back because they lowered the player count. And why they lower the player count? Server performance, probably. Better frame rate, probably. And so these are just all things they had to change in order to line up with all of that. But yeah, it's just, you spawn in, you already get it to go to a Gulag. Your teammates can already buy you back. Your teammates can already buy a flare to get you back in the game immediately. Your teammates can loot a flare to get you back in the game immediately. You have self-revive on ground loot. You have self-revive you can buy. You have self-revive pistols you can pick up if you want to insta-die. And now you have Gulag entry kits. Yeah, I don't know. It's just... These are just the exact things I didn't think would be in ranked, and now they're just all there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the game's too boring to play ranked. I'm over it, so I don't really care. I'm just hoping Modern Warfare 3, when we get the better movement and everything, the game's just a lot more fun to play, and then I'll hop back into ranked, but I'm done.
I would love to play ranked if the core game was fun. Yeah, which might happen in MW3, especially if snipers come back, which some people think they might.
Yeah.
So
hopefully.
Anyway.
Copium, but hopefully.
Copium, yeah. Some SR changes as well. Final placement SR has been adjusted to reflect the new max player count. They
looks
list all
exactly
the numbers
the same.
that I'm not going to read. It does look the same. First place is still 150. Second, 125. Third, 100. Top 5, 80. I don't know exactly what they changed there.
I'm almost positive that's exactly how it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what changed, but whatever. Instead of top 50 getting 15 SR, it's top 25, I think. I think that's what it is. Or something.
No, it wasn't top 50. Maybe. Well,
I think there was something for top 50, actually. Yeah.
No, that'd be just loading into the match. Maybe top 30 or something.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I'm thinking of squads. Yeah, you're right.
He was top
30.
30.
What did change then?
It looks the same. It's the same SR. So maybe they just changed like
first.
25 was 30. I don't know.
Minimal changes. Whatever they were minimal. So this is the more impactful one. Deployment fee updates. Iridescent. Instead of spending wait, hold on. I'm just going to read it. Iridescent, minus 110 SR plus 10 SR for every 300 SR, previously 500 SR, above 10,000, up to a new max deployment fee of negative 280. So I think, in other words, the max fee, if you're iridescent or above, instead of being a 230 deficit that you spawn in with, is now 280.
Yeah. Once you get, it doesn't matter for any of us listening or any of you guys listening or us. The minus 280 doesn't kick in until you're at about 15,000 SR. So none of you are ever getting that. Yeah, so that's a lot. And there are less players. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. Maybe it'll actually be more based on skill then, I guess, versus just playtime. Oh, but wait, the Alt F4 bug still exists, which they haven't addressed. So no one will lose SR ever, so it doesn't matter.
They've neither fixed it nor said anything about it.
Haven't said a fucking goddamn
Which is the craziest part.
Every tweet.
At least mention it.
Every tweet on like COD Updates, Treyarch, when they posted the rank change, everyone was just like, you guys can't even mention the Alt F4, but at least say like you're looking into it. Say anything. They don't communicate. Yeah. They're shit.
Dog shit trash.
All of them. Every studio. They don't know how to communicate. None of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway. And then they go into some details on the skill setback, which doesn't matter. The rewards, I don't care. And that's that. Next section is DMZ, which I'm not reading. And that's it. Season 6 patch notes.
We're saying a couple things on DMZ. You can only assimilate with 4 players now instead of 6, and they increased the price of UAVs from $12,000 to $100,000.
Oh, that's right.
And they increased the price of the advanced UAV from $12,000 to $200,000. And all the streaks got like doubled. Yeah. Interesting. I guess they don't want players fighting, or they just want you buying the DMZ bundles that come with a UAV every single time.
Yeah, that makes that bundle a lot more pay to win, for sure. And it's also literally all of those changes are just to further punish people that want to fight other people in DMZ. Which makes me think more and more that zombies in MW3 will not have, nor will ever have, any form of PvP. I don't think it will. Because ever since DMZ launched, every change has been focused on making it more and more difficult and cumbersome and punishing to kill other people. Every single change.
Yeah.
Since launch.
Because the devs are the really bad players. They don't want players fighting them when they're trying to pick up their, graphics cards or whatever, their 10 duct tapes they need. Yeah. Yeah, so that's good. I guess maybe this is because you can bring cash in now. Maybe that's why they did it. Because people could just come in with a bunch of cash and immediately buy UAVs.
That's fair.
So maybe it's actually balanced enough. I don't know, but I just thought that was funny that it goes from $12,000 to $200,000 for an advanced UAV.
That's a crazy price hike. Yeah.
Even if that price was tripled, if they did like $12,000 to like $40,000, I'd be like, holy shit, that's a lot. But yeah, it's yeah.
Well, you can tell they're anti-PvP because they increased a bunch of prices. So the Muni, instead of 1,000, is 5,000. Okay. The UAV is 100,000 instead of 12,000. So like one of those is a 5x increase. The other one is a 9x increase. So, or a little less than that. But yeah, like, come on. What are we doing? Obviously, they're anti-PvP because they price hike everything, but they price hike the things that help you kill other people the most drastically more. So it's like obvious in addition to the assimilation change. So anyway,
that's an interesting thought on zombies. Absolute. Huh. Indirect PvP because you can train zombies. or a horde of them on another team. That's interesting, actually. That could be true.
That's a good way to grief people.
Huh. Yeah. Okay.
Lead a bunch of zombies to them, get them to aggro, and then run away. Yeah. I'll be doing that. But anyway, that's it for the Season 6 patch notes. So overall, on paper, about as many changes as I expected to get with this new season. Once Season 5 came out, I was completely black-pilled on this game. They're done making meaningful changes. They're done innovating or doing anything fun or exciting. And they're done fixing bugs that matter. And all of that seems to be true. The only silver lining is that unlike Season 5, these new weapons are actually good enough to impact the meta. So we at least get to level and experience some new skins on fully automatic weapons that ultimately aren't actually going to really feel any different than any other gun. But at least it's something new to level, I guess. So once again, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Whatever. Nothing. The new map is good too, La Casa for 6s, for any of you who play multiplayer, I guess. But like, I'm going to level my guns on it and then never play it again.
We'll play it in customs on Friday. I really hope the new maps are in already. I'm going to be pissed if we can't play any of the new stuff.
Good question. Good and solid question. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The excitement for Season 6 that I have had and continue to have is all for Season 6 Reloaded when we get the cool hunting shit. That's all my excitement.
Yeah.
Not on this launch. But I expected that. So this is exactly what I expected, basically.
Yeah. So a couple other updates, bug fixes. COD updates tweeted yesterday, we're investigating reports that players were reset more than 3 tiers at the start of Season 6. This is for ranked play. So basically, if someone ended as like iridescent, they would be bronze 1 again. So it was bugged. I guess, though, it's fixed by just like playing another match, and then once you're done with that match, it'll show your correct SR. So if you experience that and like you haven't played since, I heard that was the thing, just play a full match and it'll fix itself. But yes, they're investigating that. And then, yeah, I guess we kind of already said that, but the dual trigger that they added for the Lockwood 300 was already banned in ranked play. So,
yeah. And now we have a couple of hidden patch notes. When I was getting my, when Doja, friend of the pod and community member in the Discord, joined the fucking Discord, by the way, and new Damascus patron, getting so much value for that, by the way. And you should all consider doing that as well. Patreon.com/Dropshot was loading into DMZ with me, we were chatting a little bit and he was like, yeah, did you hear about this shipment bug or feature? He didn't know which it was. Did you hear about the shipment thing? And I said, no. And he said, okay, well, I was leveling these new guns that I'm about to drop you in shipment. And my friend told me you can't get it past like level 5 in shipment. You have to like play other maps. And I was like, really? That doesn't sound real, but okay, whatever. So then I go to play shipment once I unlock the guns 2 minutes later using the DMZ Pro strat, the Dropshot MZ strat. And yeah, I couldn't, in fact, he was wrong because instead of getting them to level 5, my guns, I got to level 4. And then they didn't get XP anymore for the rest of the match in shipment 24/7. So then I went and queued for La Casa 24/7, started leveling up as normal. Now, bug or feature? No idea. If it was a feature, it is entirely possible they wouldn't say anything about it. If it was a bug, it's also entirely possible they wouldn't say anything about it. So I don't know if this is intended or not. I could see them doing this intentionally so that people aren't leveling the guns too fast, so that they get to log more player playtime in their little charts for their board meetings or whatever. I could totally see them doing that.
Yeah.
I could also totally see this being a random bug. I have no idea. But if you're wondering why weapon leveling is so slow for your new guns in shipment all of a sudden, it's because it's a bug and or feature that you can't level your guns past level 4 or 5, I guess, depending on who you are or something. But this was true for me with both of the new guns in shipment 24/7. I got them to level 4 in like 2 kills, and then I just couldn't keep leveling them. So yeah, keep an eye on that. And La Casa 24/7 is what I would recommend for your weapon XP leveling.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's working this way. It's very weird.
I maxed the new AR on shipment last night. Maybe it's like a visual bug or something, but it's really still leveling when you play another match.
You maxed it, huh, Mike? That's interesting. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't affect everyone.
Yeah, I was going to say
that would imply that it's a bug.
Yeah, there are numerous bugs that we see every season like that only affect some players. What was it last time? The daemon, the trigger or something wasn't unlocking, or the akimbo it was. You couldn't unlock it, certain players. So it's probably that then, I bet.
That was
some people
everyone.
Are just bugged. No, that was only certain players. Everyone. No, because there were people in our chat that were saying they could unlock theirs, and others couldn't. Because you were one of those people that could not do it, right?
I haven't maxed it, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that was one of those bugs. So that happens all the time. So that could very well be it.
Okay, interesting. Either way, yeah, keep that in mind. So there's one hidden patch note. So it does sound like it's a bug, though, not a feature. Yeah. This is another bug for sure. The battle pass just not leveling up. I got 0 battle pass XP yesterday for the 2 hours I played. And then I thought, maybe it'll retroactively apply it. I'll just log in later and see. It didn't retroactively apply anything. I just didn't get any XP in the battle pass for those hours that I played. So that's cool. And I think it's still fucked up in some way. I'm not really sure, but the battle pass leveling or something is janky right now.
Yeah,
or at least it was.
We were getting no leveling yesterday, and then we just figured it would retroactively give it to us. Logged on this morning. After I finished my first match, I still had less than half of my bar filled up for the first token.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's for sure something's messed up with that still.
Yeah.
Could be what Mike's saying too. Maybe the guns are specifically bugged when you unlock them through DMZ. That is very realistic. However you unlock it, I just feel like
I would either get no XP or be able to max it. It's weird that it like stops at like some random level. Yeah. But yeah, who knows?
Hey, honestly, having a shipment XP lock for guns would be a great way to do it. Get people to fuck off shipment. Better yet, never put shipment in the video game again. But hey, it's a pretty good way to do it.
That's why I was thinking it might be intentional.
Yeah.
Because it's like shipment, you know?
Wouldn't mind if they did that.
Yeah. So
shipment is just ruined to camo grinding. It's unfortunate.
Well, and then that's it for hidden patch notes. I'm certain there are more, but those are the only ones we've found so far. And then I just wanted to do a quick little PSA. I would strongly encourage everyone. I should have said this sooner. I should have said this in season 5, but I'll just say it now. I would strongly encourage all of you to start saving your XP tokens for MW 3. Your double XP tokens, your double battle pass XP tokens, and most importantly, your double weapon XP tokens will carry forward TM to MW 3. And if you're wasting them on the ISO 9mm, which has 13 levels, by the way, and may or may not get nerfed soon, and even if it's really good for the rest of the game, it's going to be really good for another 43 days, 8 hours, 16 minutes, and 2 seconds. Who fucking cares? Just level it slower, save those tokens, especially if you're a camo grinder, because you're going to get way more utility out of using those double weapon XP tokens on all the new guns we're getting in MW 3, so you can level them faster to do your camo grind quicker. Especially for the dog shit guns we're going to have to get max level in MW 3. We know there's going to be some lever action Red Rider that's 8 shots to kill with a 5-round mag.
Yeah.
Or whatever, tube. So you want to have as many double weapon XP tokens for that dog shit as you possibly can. So don't waste them on the Geist, which is really good and fun to level anyway. Save it for those dog shit guns that are going to be in MW 3. There's your PSA.
Yeah, and buy Little Caesars, buy the Doritos chips that give you a double weapon XP. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spend money on food to get in-game currency.
Correct.
Yeah. And then also the other thing is, like, when the new game launches, there's always some way to get a bunch of XP for guns that's bugged for like the first week. In MW2 it was Invasion, wasn't it? You could get a ton of XP from playing Invasion and killing bots. People figure that out really quickly. AI, so that combined with double weapon XP was absolutely broken absurd. So yeah, there will probably be some way to do that also. Or even just could be plunder in Warzone when the integration happens too. So yeah, for sure save most of those and buy all the pizza.
Yeah, buy all the pizza and Doritos and pizza rolls.
Yeah, you fat piece of shit, buy it all.
Yeah. Beta's next weekend. Do you have to pre-order to get beta? I need to pre-order, dude.
It's next weekend for PlayStation. Yeah, we do have to pre-order. We're going to have to pre-order to get access or early access to the beta. Like the 2 or 3 days earlier.
I'm going to do that soon.
Yeah. So yeah.
We need to make sure we remember that that's a business expense also, by the way.
Yeah. So moving on here, we have some info on the new guns, some data. So we're going to start off here. I got an image of the ISO 9mm. I put this into True Game Data. I put it against the ISO 45, which is one of the meta SMGs, the Lockman Sub, which is one of the meta SMGs, and the Lockman Shroud, which is the burst Lockman. And here you can see the chart. ISO 9mm stacks right up with the ISO 45 and the Lockman Sub. So it is absolutely a meta weapon. Lockman Shroud kills faster on paper, but again, it's burst. You're going to miss shots. You missed one shot of that burst, the time to kill is immediately a lot worse. It's harder to use. So just because that time to kill is there doesn't mean a whole lot. It's like the Lockman 7.62. Time to kill so much better than every other gun, but you won't be able to use it past 10 meters, even with all the recoil attachments, and it'll take 3.5 seconds to aim down sight. So Lockman Shroud is really good, don't get me wrong, but ISO 9mm, the new SMG, is absolutely in the meta. Higher fire rate, too, is what I was seeing some people talk about. Well, and I did use it a little bit, I guess, in multiplayer. I killed some guy and used it for a tiny bit. So that fire rate is really fast, so more forgiving that way. But yeah, so maybe this will overtake the Lockman Sub in like a week or so. You'll see more players using it, but definitely worth unlocking, worth leveling up. Even if it's not the absolute #1 meta, I mean, it's right there. The time to kills are all the same. They're all right around 600, 610. So, yeah, I would strongly encourage you to unlock that.
Yes.
Easier recoil at range than the ISO 45, too. Yeah, that's a good point. That's what I didn't like about the ISO 45. You know, it has a great time to kill at, 15 meters or so, but I can't hit anyone at 15 meters with the ISO 45 with iron sights. No way. Didn't matter, the time to kill was that good. So, ISO 9mm, easier to use. Time to kill is slower, but if it's that much easier to use, could be better at those longer ranges.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, so I'm excited to keep leveling that one up. And then
I'm excited just there's a new fucking SMG in the mix,
And that isn't total dog shit. Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. The only downside, I feel like, not for the gun itself, because the gun looks super promising. The only thing that kind of sucks is it ultimately is kind of just another SMG. Like the damage ranges are the same, fire rate, I don't know. It feels very similar to guns we've already had, but at least it's something new in the mix. So yeah, I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah. So. And then second chart here, we are looking at the new AR. It is the TR-76 Geist, which is this green line right here. Second one from the bottom. So this chart, I'm showing the Kastov 7.62. The M13B, the TAC-56, the TR-76, the new gun, and the Cronin just for shits and giggles so you guys can see, because a lot of you are probably the most familiar with the Cronin. You've used that the most. So this is pre-nerf Kastov, by the way. But this Kastov, these stats are going to be a little bit worse. They don't have the data for it yet. But the Geist is basically the fastest killing AR. If you like the TAC-56, there's no reason to use it anymore. This kills 100 milliseconds faster. Kills faster than the M13. Only thing it doesn't have is a little bit shorter damage range than like the M13, the Kastov, and the Cronin. But yeah, out of those 5 guns, the Cronin is by far the worst now. Pretty much, well, yeah, pretty much at all ranges.
No, it's the worst.
It's the worst pretty much everywhere, yeah. So like the new AR is killing around like 760 milliseconds at close range. Cronin at that range is like 930, 940. So it is a lot fucking worse. So again, this could end up being the absolute meta primary to run. So definitely
especially
unlock
its
this.
long damage range. Look how good that is. It's faster killing than any other AR, potentially besides the Kastov 7.62. But again, this is pre-nerf stats, so we're not sure. Outside of fucking 41 meters. That's real good. That's real strong. And it's fun to use too. So one downside of it is max magazine size is 45 rounds, which is kind of annoying. But the fire rate isn't super duper high, and it does a lot of damage. So like its damage per mag is still going to be quite good with 45 rounds. It's just, 45 rounds, but that's not terrible. So yeah, I would encourage you guys to get into DMZ. I think it's more essential you get the Geist than the ISO 9mm, because the Geist is potentially going to be way more relevant. Actually, like almost certainly going to be way more relevant. The Geist is a lot better than every other AR, than the ISO is better than every other SMG, like a lot more. So yeah, you should unlock it for sure. That one's like a must unlock if you're a Warzone player, I think. And looking at this does make me wonder if it's going to get a nerf. I think it might. And the earliest it would get a nerf is Season 6 Reloaded. More likely like Season 7. But I don't know. That's still a number of days where it's quite good. So yeah, I would consider using it. Anyway, moving on.
I don't think they'll really nerf it because, like, honestly, we need a new meta. So, and it's not like, I don't know, it's not broken. Is it going to be the best overall? Yeah, but there always has to be a best overall. So hopefully this is it. Again, I really like the feeling of this gun, so I'm hoping it is the meta and that we keep it that way, yeah. But yeah, so let's see what else we got here. That's it for the charts. Yes, so just to reiterate, luck with 300 one-shot range. This is from Jay God. He posted a little 12-second clip on Twitter. Hip fire, the one-shot distance is 4.25 meters. I don't understand why that. I guess that's just because of the spread. It spreads too much past that, so you can't get the one-shot down. But yeah, ADS is 10.5 meters. And like I said, that is a longer first damage range than pretty much all the meta SMGs. So really good. The new trigger goes bonkers. And yeah, it's just a question of if they nerf this or not, or how quickly they nerf it, or how they nerf it. So we'll let you know how that goes. And then a couple more things here, non-game related. This is from someone, Geeksa, on Twitter. I believe he is a zombies type player, DMZ player. So he tweeted something out a few days ago. He said, I know DMZ, when first introduced, was very, very bare bones. Over the past 6 seasons, they have really added meat to the bones, and it was shaping up to be something really great. Well, maybe. I'm starting to believe the rumblings that it'll be put to the pasture when MW3 comes out. Say what you will, the community for the game is strong and gave me feelings of the zombie community niche COD game. I don't know why I'm reading this. It actually doesn't matter. I thought he said something else in there. It doesn't matter. TLDR, the DMZ Trello board has been wiped.
Yes.
Infinity Ward wiped the Trello board. So that pretty much confirms this mode will not be supported when MW3 drops. Is it going away? Actually, yeah, maybe, because it's considered a Warzone game mode. So they may just take it away, because I was thinking it'll probably stay there, but just be unsupported. But actually, maybe it will just really go away.
I don't know. My impulse, what I think is probably most likely is they're going to keep it in the game and do like as little shit on it as possible every season. Like they probably won't wipe as often. They're going to add like the minimum amount of contracts each season, whatever. Because it depends on the player count, and I feel like a lot of people do still play DMZ. And if that's true, I don't think they're going to get rid of it. If we were going to like Warzone 3, I would be much more inclined to believe DMZ is just going away. But on the other hand, too, why would they wipe the Trello board if they fixed every bug? It? Yeah, they might have. I mean, that's all the bug fixes they do is for fucking DMZ. So maybe they did actually fix every bug. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think. It's very hard for me to guess when we don't know how many people play DMZ. Like if it has like a decent player base, I don't see them removing it.
And I think it does have a decent player base. It seems
that's what it seems like. But on the other hand, why would they wipe the Trello board? That's weird. I think maybe we're looking too much into the Trello board thing. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But if I had to bet, I would say it's not going to just get literally deleted. I think it'll probably just start getting way less support than it is now. Like we're not going to get new factions ever again, for example. Or like new contracts. It'll just kind of be the same bullshit every season. And they will change up the contracts every once in a while, but not meaningfully. They will just kind of reskin them. So instead of like a contract where you like extract with 10 GPUs, they'll change it to CD-ROMs and like put it in a different tier or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I think that would probably be how they would keep it in if they do. But I also think it might depend too on how popular it is post-launch. So here's another thing. They might be like, we might remove DMZ. We're going to wait until season 2 of MW 3 cycle. And then we're going to look at the player count. And if DMZ has lost all of its players to zombies or whatever, then we're going to get rid of it. But if it maintains some players after the integration, then we won't. So I don't know. But yeah, like on launch, will they just remove DMZ? I had to guess no. But the Trello board thing is weird.
Well, you know what? I can see them even removing it for file size issues. Because if we're getting a whole new map for Warzone 2, which we are, what do they do for that then? Does that mean they add also that new map to DMZ? So many of the missions are map specific, so they'd have to do a bunch of maps too. I think from their point of view, it is so much easier to just actually remove it. Then also the other thing, since the guns are in Warzone, that means you could go into DMZ still if it's there and still do the same dropping to unlock guns that are in Modern Warfare 3. If they keep that system too, which would be great for us, but
yeah, that would be. That's a good point. The file size and the map.
Yeah, because I mean, since about that. Mazra and the maps are already in the game, but since the devs don't know how to properly be a game developer, they just copy and paste it, and so the DMZ file size is huge, even though the map's already in the game for Warzone, just like they did with Al-Bagra Fortress. You just downloaded 60 gigabytes of the same map, Al Mazrah, to play their small fortress map. So DMZ probably takes up a lot of resources.
True.
And if we're getting rotating large maps for the first time ever, they need all the help they can get, and I think that would be removing DMZ.
One thing they might be thinking, though, is that they're going to offer the modular installs. So if people don't want to play DMZ, they can just remove it. That might be their thought process.
Yeah, could be.
So that would make them less inclined to delete it. I don't know. That's a good point, though. You're right. Because it'd also be weird if they got rid of Al Mazrah when they introduced the new big Warzone map.
Mm-hmm.
Then they would be able to clean Al Mazrah off your hard drive, unless you had DMZ. So that's like a big deal too. But again, with the modular thing, maybe they'll be like, all right, well, if you want to install every single game mode, it's going to be 2 terabytes, but you can. Like maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah. But, and I feel like for the file size issues, they can't split DMZ because it's part of Warzone. That it almost would be like not choosing to download Resurgence. I feel like the way it's in the files, it's just because like what you can usually install zombies, single player, multiplayer, and like Warzone or something like that.
I'll check right now. So okay, so I can do for MW2 base game, which is required, campaign, multiplayer, co-op, and Warzone.
Yeah.
So right now you're correct. I can't uninstall DMZ but keep playing Warzone. It's either all or nothing on that front. So DMZ's yeah, maybe that would be a problem too. Fuck.
Yeah, it's see ya.
Interesting.
Because if we don't rotate maps, I think we will end up rotating large maps, but if we don't, then it's definitely gone because they're not going to leave Al Mazrah in there just for DMZ. Yeah, it's gone as fuck. DMZ's dead. It's official.
I don't think they leave Maz in for just DMZ unless you can choose to not download it. You're right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So it's possible they add that functionality
Yeah,
to be
that
fair.
is. Yeah, they kind of split it into because they could just take it and split it from instead of saying Warzone, it's you can play DMZ, you can play zombies, or you can play
Warzone.
Warzone, yeah, it's all split into different categories.
That's possible too, yeah. So there are a lot of potentials here. I don't know, but I mean, it's also weird. Like they did what did they do? Did we get a new exclusion zone for DMZ?
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Aren't there 2 exclusion zones? I've never been to either of them. It's Building 21. Isn't there another one now?
No, I mean with this season, I mean.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, we actually got almost no new content for DMZ in this season, actually. There were the price changes, the bug fixes, and that's it, actually. No new exclusion
and they usually add a
zone.
bunch of things like the workbench,
They usually add like a
stuff.
faction. Yeah,
new faction missions.
Contract shit.
Yeah, DMZ's dead. It's official. We just deleted the DMZ channel in Discord. It's gone forever. Yeah.
And by the way, if you're thinking, no, Raz, they wouldn't remove DMZ because it's so new, it would be weird for them to do all this work on an entire assed game mode and then remove it a year after they do all the work to release it. Might I remind you of Fortune's Keep?
Yeah.
A whole assed resurgence map that they spent ostensibly a lot of time on that didn't even last a full year. You couldn't even play it for a year.
It didn't last 6 months. I think Fortune's Keep was actually only playable for 3 or 4 months. It was not a long time. It was so late. It was like season 5 we got it or something.
Yeah, I don't know how long it was. I thought it was like 9 months, but still, less than a year either way is pretty crazy.
We got it in June, so it was less than 6 months. We got it late June. Yeah.
Jesus, really?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was like 9 months. Damn.
Came out season 4. Yeah, okay.
So, yeah. I mean, so they're obviously willing to make a big thing and then just fucking scrap it. So, yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I also don't care. In fact, I want DMZ to be removed because then there's more development time for them to do things that are interesting.
And then there are worse
DMZ
players
is a failed game. So just to be clear, they're all those dog shit players in other game modes that I actually play. Yeah. And let's be clear, DMZ was a failed game mode. So if they stop supporting it, that's fine. And I would prefer it. But if they kept it in, it wouldn't be the end of the world. So whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So last thing here. This is kind of funny. So we've talked a lot lately about bundles in Warzone that people pay for, and then months later they add them as a free bundle through watching World Series of Warzone, having Amazon Prime. So people pay $10, $15, $20 for these bundles. I have Amazon Prime. I get them for free. Get scammed, shit can. So,
shitters. Charlie
Intel pointed this out. Overwatch, which is another game, by the way, under the Activision umbrella, Activision Blizzard umbrella. They had some free skin through Prime Gaming. Everyone was like, hey, what the fuck? I paid for this. So Overwatch was like, with the shop recently having some Mercy skin available for purchase, all players who bought this skin between August 29th and September 7th have received a full Overwatch coins refund and still own their items. So everyone was like, what the fuck? I paid for this and now it's free? So they said, oh, okay, here you go. It's refunded and you can still keep it. What has COD done? The same thing 4 times. 3 or 4 times. You buy bundles, they release them for free months later. It's crazy that
Giga Chad.
This is all Activision. How
it's all Blizzard, which is weird.
How does COD do it? But Overwatch is like, oh fuck, sorry. That really makes me think Activision is just not as involved as we think they are, and it's just actually the shit dev studios making more decisions than we thought. I don't know. This is a little wild to me.
Who develops Overwatch? Isn't the developer Blizzard Activision?
I think it is.
Overwatch developer.
Blizzard's the developer and yeah.
And Activision's the publisher. Yeah. Yeah, Blizzard is the developer and publisher of Overwatch. So
that is weird that Blizzard refunds and COD doesn't even say anything.
Yeah, that is very weird. You're right.
I also wonder how the communication in general is from the Overwatch team, from the Blizzard teams, like how much they communicate with their groups.
Overwatch is a lot smaller of a game too. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
a lot smaller.
There's probably more accountability, and maybe the community there was more mad than the COD community was. I wouldn't be surprised if like the COD kids, like, honestly, I would never know about that unless I was like doing a podcast that like some skin I bought is now a free thing with Prime. True. I would never realize it unless I did a podcast, to be honest. So I don't know. I feel like Activision was probably like, okay, we can get away with not refunding for COD. We can't get away with it for Overwatch. That's probably what happened, honestly.
That makes sense.
That simple.
Yeah, because like the COD community is so casual, no one has any clue what's going on ever. Most of them don't pay attention. They buy Black Cell, they buy a bunch of bundles, they play the game 1 hour a week, and they're done with it. But Overwatch is all like super nerds, sweaty kids. So if they spend money on something and then see it's free a week later, like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Whereas the COD community, yeah, they're always in a blender. They don't know what's going on ever.
Yeah.
Fuck the COD community.
Yeah, especially for buying Black Cell. So anyway, all right, that's it, boys and girls. So couple reminders. On Saturday, we will be doing first impressions of season 6. And depending on how long that takes, we will also answer some questions from the community on a wide range of topics. So if you want to ask us a question, join the Discord. There's a Q&A questions channel. You can ask us whatever you want. If it's a dog shit question, we won't answer it, but you can ask pretty much whatever you want in there. Within reason, obviously. So that's probably on the agenda for Saturday, but we will definitely be doing some first impressions. We'll get more into specifics on what we liked and disliked about the maps, the weapons. We will have probably played more by then too. So like I might have more to say on the sub at that time. And the meta will be settling a little bit more. Like we also might get the Kastov 762 updated stats so we can reevaluate that AR TTK chart that we went over today. So we'll have some more to say there. And then, we might answer some questions. And in the meantime, on Friday, Damascus Hangout, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we will have our last bonus episode for Patreon going live Saturday morning for all of our patrons, which is going to be all about MW3 Zombies, which is going to be a really fun episode that I'm really looking forward to. And there is a lot to talk about there. So keep your eyes peeled for that, patrons. Patreon.com/Dropshot. If you want to get access to it, you get ad-free episodes and early access as well. Thanks for watching and listening. Stay humble.
Stay humble.